Hi Virgo, happy birthday. Welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your September 2023 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, source what we have in front of us, the Celtic crossword as always, and I also pulled the 4 agreements, Wisdom, Oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology items we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have Aries, and Aries energy for you guys is actually 8th house energy, and 8th house in general points to death, rebirth, intimacy, investments. We've had Chiron there for quite some time, and we have the North Node there now as well. Alright, we have 10, and 10th house energy for you guys is Gemini. Astrologically speaking, pretty quiet there, but could just be some focus on your career and social status this month. And we have Neptune. So Neptune's been in your 7th house for a very long time. Most of you are probably aware of that. But yeah, so could be some confusion around your relationships this month as well. Alright, so moving on to your main spread. In the main situation position, we have the 8 of Swords, which is Gemini energy, which we also saw with your 10th house coming up with the dice. And challenging that, we have the 6 of Pentacles. So for sure, this could easily be related to your finances and your career in some way, given that we saw 10th house come up with the dice too. But it could just be saying that for some of you, maybe you feel unsure of where you want to go next with your career, right? So maybe you've accomplished a certain amount of success, right? Achieved some goals within that area of life, but you might feel like maybe the returns on investment might not be what you'd hoped for up to this point, right? So for some of you, in a more super mundane way of looking at it, could just be saying that maybe you feel like you should be compensated more for your work, but you're not necessarily sure how to start that conversation around that, right? So it could just be as simple as that. But yeah, either way, it looks like it could just be saying that maybe you're not feeling as fulfilled in your career life as you'd like, and you'd like to see some more balance there. In the foundation position, we have the 4 of Cups. So yeah, again, this could be a similar indicator, energetically speaking, to where you just might feel like what's being offered to you isn't necessarily satisfying you, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be monetarily speaking either, right? Maybe you just might feel like you're not appreciated in the way you would like, whatever the case may be. But it looks like it's just saying that what is being offered to you currently, you're not necessarily fully satisfied with, but at the same time, looks like there's a little bit of reluctance on your part to take a more proactive approach to that at this time. All right. In the past position, we have the Page of Pentacles. So for some of you, this could be pointing to what the issue is. We always see with the Page of Pentacles how that pentacle looks like it's just out of their reach, right? So maybe that was one of those things where in the past you might have felt like you were so close to a goal of yours, and now you might feel like the goalpost is moving, right? So you're like, okay, at one point I felt like I was right there. Now it seems like I'm just, every step I take forward, the goal gets further and further away. So that could be part of the issue where you guys could just be feeling tired at this point when it comes to that, right? All right, in the present position, we have the Hangman. So yeah, to me, this says you're doing a lot of reflecting around the situation, which the Eight of Swords energy can point to that to an extent too. But to me, this says that it's more than just fear and anxiety just keeping you paralyzed in place, right? I feel like there's actual some genuine thought going into it, and you're trying to look at things from different angles to figure out, okay, how really should I address this at this time? And given that I usually see this as a Pisces energy, you could just be saying that when we hit that Pisces full moon at the very end of August, you might get some additional insight around the situation. All right. In the near future position, we have the 7 of Cups. So yeah, definitely point to some confusion here. I mean, you guys are going to have Mercury retrograde start right when your season starts, and it's pretty much going to, even though it'll wrap up around the middle of September, it's going to be in post-shadow period for the rest of September, basically. So it can just be one of those things, especially given that this Scorpio energy that this card represents, that's your 3rd house communication. So yeah, it could just be, maybe you have multiple ideas around a certain situation, but you're not quite sure which of those pathways would be best to communicate what's on your mind. In the position of your influence in a situation, we have the Emperor. So this is Aries energy, which we also saw come up in your dice, and it could just be saying that in a way what could be causing an issue too is maybe you just want to have too much control around the situation, right? Like you feel like you have to be really hands-on with every single thing, and that could be actually causing a bit of a hindrance for you guys in a situation. So that could be actually, usually it would be more of a normal energy, but for some of you, it could be coming across as more of an obstacle. And with the North Node recently moving into Aries, you might actually start to get some insight around that. All right. In the environment position, we have the Hierophant. So yeah, to me, this could just be saying that these transits and this energy you're feeling could be pushing you toward that realization, right? That, okay, I mean, these energies might seem like they're worlds apart on one hand, but at the same time, it could just be saying that, okay, instead of feeling like you need to be so proactive and on top of every single detail, this energy here would provide for a little bit more allowance, right? A little bit more faith in, okay, I don't have to be involved in every little single detail here. I could be a little bit more trusting and let the universe help me out in this regard as well. And interesting to see that too, because when we have the new moon in your sign in September, it's actually going to be trine Uranus, which will be in Taurus. So look for that as a key time when you might actually get that realization too. Hopes or fears position, we have the world. So yeah, I feel like this is saying that for a lot of you, you're hoping that you have learned everything you've had to learn around the situation, right? And you might feel like on the one hand, maybe you did, right? Where like I said, it looks like you were so close to a goal in the past, and now it just feels like you're spinning your wheels. Could just be saying that, okay, maybe you're just hoping for that confirmation that yes, I did learn what I needed to learn from the situation, right? I can move forward. So for some of you, you're not necessarily happy with the stuck energy right now, but you just haven't seen what you would view as concrete, tangible evidence to say that you are free to move forward at this point. And that could come back to what we were saying there as far as, trying to have a little bit more faith around the situation. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Strength card. So this is actually Leo energy here, and it could just be pointing to a proactive approach, of course, but also I feel like this is saying at the same time a very measured approach. If we look at the way the feminine energy there is holding, looks like they're trying to hold the mouth of the lion closed, and if we look at the lion as possibly in a more negative sense, ego, right, or in a more positive sense, just passion, right, but being more measured with it. Like, okay, knowing that I could still pursue these things, but how I approach it could be key, right? And I think your title for your reading for last month was Ego Deaths, so I feel like this card might have been at play during that time as well. And this Leo energy, of course, reminds me that we're not done with the Leo retrograde yet either. That'll technically wrap up around the middle of the first week of September, but then that's going to be in a post shadow period through most of September too. So you might still be refining that area. All right, and bottom of the deck we have the Six of Cups. So yeah, for some of you might actually want to get back in touch with something from your past, right? For some of you it could be an actual person, given that this is a Scorpio energy, at the very least reopening the lines of communication with someone, right? Doesn't have to be a romantic interest, of course. Could be siblings, friends, yes, possibly a romantic interest as well. But really, I feel like this is saying that you might want to get back in touch with that. Or for some of you, again, like I said, where maybe you're just trying to be so detail oriented on top of every little thing, this could just be saying that maybe there is a part of you that does want to tap into a more carefree, playful approach to the things you're doing. And that could actually be the key to helping you move forward in a positive way this month. All right, moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have Don't Make Assumptions and Ask for What You Want. Okay, it says find the courage to ask for what you want. Others have the right to tell you yes or no, but you always have the right to ask. Likewise, everybody has the right to ask you for what they want, and you have the right to say yes or no. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there to come up, especially given what we were talking about with the Eight of Swords and the Six of Pentacles challenging that, and the Four of Cups and the Foundation as well. So hopefully that resonated. Moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have Between Worlds. There's the artwork, and the number is 3. So interesting to see that as well, because that makes me think of looking at a transition energy from the Emperor to the Hierophant, right? So maybe that'll connect with that as well, but we'll see what it says. Okay, essential meanings says transitions, not being quite out of one situation and fully engaged in another, temporary blindness, no man's land. The Oracle's message, between the worlds is where you must let go of the tendency to make assumptions. This is a time when you are unable to see what is ahead. Cultivate curiosity and trust the process of change and growth. You are done learning the lessons of recent experiences. In this place, between what was and what will be, is a state of making and unmaking and making again. What is essential now is to admit not knowing. There is great freedom and power to be unleashed. A mystery that is not yours to understand weaves the web of life within a divine matrix of consciousness greater than your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, desires, and decisions. The seeds that were planted in the past begin to take root, but what surfaces will probably not be what you expect. When you are between the worlds, you are invited to see with the curious eyes of a child glimpsing a rainbow for the first time. Do so and you will not be disappointed. See a lot going on with that message there, but again, that makes me think to what I was saying, where you could be feeling a bit of a transit within your lives, moving from more of an Emperor energy toward more of a Hierophant energy, and then when it mentions the part about the curious eyes of a child, where you're talking about that Six of Cups energy, where you guys might be reconnecting with that more light, playful energy this month. So hopefully that resonated. The relationship message says this is a time to explore the new energy between you and another. It is not a moment for certainty, but rather for discovery and curiosity. You don't yet know if this will last forever, so allow yourself to explore who you are and what is reflected back to you. This relationship is meant to educate you about yourself. What do you need? What do you like or dislike? What values are important to you? You are in a critical phase of your relationship that is not to be dismissed or hurried. So, definitely a positive message there as well, if we resonated. And the prosperity message says, in your work, sometimes you try things that have worked for others, hoping that you too will be successful. When this symbol appears, it reminds you that sometimes the path to your prosperity is a gamble. Win or lose, you can learn much from what comes of your wager. It's a good time to bet on your skills and talents in new and different arenas. Remain curious, and with the right combination of timing and luck, you will stumble upon something golden that will be unlike anything you've known before. So yeah, definitely a positive message there as well, especially if you have felt like you've been doing the same old thing, right, and getting results that maybe at one point were satisfactory to you, but now they just don't seem to really fit what you're going for, right? So hopefully that resonated as well. And lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. This is your mudra here. It's the Karana mudra. The keyword for it is purification. And let's see if we get everything in the frame there. There we go. So if you want to pause it and take a screenshot to read what it has to say, you can. But as far as benefits, it says cleansing and purifying, benefits the bladder, colon, and large intestine, detoxifies body and mind, assists with the release of negative patterns and habits. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there. Once again, happy birthday, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.